Hi everyone, it's Mojax. I'm back in the lab once again with some more DJ gear hotness. Now, I've been using the Crane Stand Pro at my gigs for quite some time now. It is the Rolls Royce of laptop stands. It is lightweight, it's aluminium construction or tubular, quick releases so you can move it through all different positions and tweak it exactly as you want. It's sturdy, it's strong, it is the business. It is also £130 here in the UK, which is not a trivial amount of money to spend on a laptop stand for anybody. I don't think that's, you know, it's worth the investment for me. I'm glad I bought it, but you know, that's a hell of a lot of money for a stand, especially if you don't do that many gigs, you don't play out that much, or you're a bedroom DJ or something like that. So Crane have had a cheaper version in their lineup before. It was the Crane Standard, which was steel construction, much heavier, had push pins for adjustment, so you could move it through a certain amount of positions, but you were pretty much stuck to the ones that were preset. What they've got now is their more recent stand, which is the Crane Stand Plus. Now, I've had the good guys at West End DJ send me this one through, so big thanks to them. And I've been playing around with this one in the studio a little bit, and I think this is definitely going to take its place as my sort of second stand for out and about at gigs. Why? Well, it's, as you can see from looking at it, it is very, very similar to the Crane Stand Pro. You know, if you looked at them at a glance, you'd be hard pushed to tell a difference. It's only when you get up close. It is a steel construction, again, tubular construction, feels really solid. It's well made all round. It is a little bit heavier than the Pro, but not that much heavier. So you're not going to notice the difference if you've got, you know, if you had a bag full of other gear and then you took this one out and put the Pro in instead, you're not going to say, oh, my bag is massively lighter than it was before. You're really not. It's, you know, trivial amount of weight difference between the two. It's, you know, same sort of layout. You've got the quick releases, so you can move it through all manner of positions. I particularly like, and this is how I'm going to use this one, it's going to be my iPad control surface. So I'm going to pop my iPad in there, and you've got a really nice vertical position there for your tablet or whatever in the booth, which is great. You can obviously put MIDI controllers, your laptop on there, whatever you want to use really. And it's a good wide platform. You know, your stuff is not going to go anywhere. It feels really solid. You've got the rubber stops on the top, bottom, and on the end of the foot as well. So that's great. None of your gear is going to get scratched up or damaged. And yeah, as I say, because of this whole thing with the quick release mechanism, you can basically put it into whatever kind of position your heart desires. So that's the Z position. I use that one a lot in booths with a sort of smaller space, and you can just put it through whatever angle you want really, as long as you've got a decent surface to put it on, then you're great. It's got the single foot design, which is sort of controversial whether that's better or worse than the sort of 2 feet design or something like that. The good thing with the single foot design is that you can get it in between pieces of equipment quite easily. It'll fit in between bits of gear. You can just slot it in, and if you've got a big nest of cables at the back of your mixer or something, if you're working in a club or whatever where you're not going to be able to pull out the mixer and set it up properly, then you can actually slide this single foot in really easily into that nest of cables, whereas if you've got 2 to worry about, it can be a little bit challenging. Obviously the downside to that is if you're putting something directly on the middle of it, then yeah, you know, you might end up with a bit of wobble or something from that, but I haven't really found that to be a problem at gigs. As I say, the Pro has served me well in most environments. Comes in white, which I love. You know, I've got my white RMX 1000, white tractor vinyl, just, you know, pimple my gear up as much as I can. So this suits my colour scheme. Also comes in a really nice graphite grey colour, and I did see a limited edition orange one floating around on the, I think it was a German website. So, you know, hopefully they'll do more colours in the future perhaps, or, you know, we'll see what happens. But it does look great in the white. It's really a nice finish. Obviously it's a painted finish rather than the sort of hard anodized finish on the aluminium, but you know, that's what you get with steel versus aluminium. So that's the Crane Stand Plus. You know, fantastic bit of kit, £79, not far off half the price of the Pro. It's got to be great value. It's a little bit more still than some on the market, no doubt, but ultimately, you know, I think that's probably worth the money. It's worth the investment. You want to look after your equipment when you're out at a gig. You want to know that stuff is not going to fall on the floor. It's not going to, you know, collapse on you. It's got to be sturdy and solid. And I really think this does the business. So there you go. That's the Crane Stand Plus, available pretty much worldwide. Check out westenddj.co.uk if you're in the UK. They are basically the guys to talk to on this one. So yeah, thank you very much to them, and thank you very much for watching. You can check out more videos from me on my channel at youtube.com/mojaxvdj, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you very much. Bye bye.